Awesome Sauce, you ready?
Whenever you are, buddy.
So never. And welcome back, everybody. It's another news episode here at Bamsters. It's Friday, the 21st of June. Wow, how can I forget what month it is? It's warm outside, I'm sweaty, it's annoying, it's summer. And we got a little news roundup, starting with Kickstarter.
Yes, Gigabuster. It seems like more and more of these 2D platformers are making a comeback, and this would be no exception. It's said to be inspired by things like Mega Man. This has got kind of a cartoony art style to it, but it's got both melee and ranged combat abilities, lots of jumping, wall jumping, like grappling hook that you can use. Looks like some different weapons and possible power-ups and stuff. They've only asked for $5,000 for funding, and they're already close to 4K, and they still got 25 days to go. So definitely check out the Gigabuster Kickstarter if you are a fan of 2D platformers. Plus, with the release date that they're aiming at for this summer or fall, you won't even have to wait too long for this one.
Yeah, it looks like it's just finishing up a game that they already made. Just need money for the home stretch and possibly some stretch goals. But it looks cute, and I mean, that name, Gigabuster. Yeah. Moving swift on. Drag, since we've been doing this for a while, we've been talking to a lot of game devs. Wouldn't you like to be one?
I think that depends on the day.
Well, EA up in Guildford, UK is hiring a community manager. Now, people who follow the tweeting have been able to guess what it is for, but I was more, when I saw this one, I like what they say that you're going to be. You're going to be the face of EA in your market and platforms locally. So, something UK-ish, whichever platform it will be on. You have to form strong bonds with influencers. You have to be friend with all the influencers. So yeah, that's a bit of a no. But I also you have to have or maintain a positive reputation if you want to be their community manager. Which makes sense, but it's just the fact they have to write that. All these other things, you have to ensure that their standards and policies and processes are observed. You have to make sure that things are flagged, issues are communicated. A lot of things I don't think gamers in general, understand that their community manager also does. I've interviewed for some community jobs in the game dev business, and it was interesting to see how much they actually emphasize this part where you have to assist with communication for bugs, for outages, support issues, and accept that some of those are going to go your way, even though you're not working in support. But at least they point out you have to dedicate time to play the games you represent. So, people saying that devs and community managers don't play the games, well, at EA, it's a requirement.
But do you really want to work for EA?
See, that's the other question. This is a big company. A lot of people want to work, but there's a lot of people who don't want to because it's EA. So, yeah, particularly the thing they said today about loot boxes would make you kind of want to not be the community manager these days. They're getting a lot of flack today and tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. And on top of that, just as a bit of a side note, did you see the article I posted to the channel about the guy who, as soon as the GDPR stuff came out, he sent a request to EA for all his info, and through that data dump, he discovered that over a period of 2 years, he'd spent $10,000 or 10,000, maybe it was 10,000 pounds on loot boxes. Yeah,
the article said $10,000, and they left out information where they said, if we share this, somebody can deduce our business methods. So, yeah, no, that's actually not a legal reason to exclude things from GDPR requests. It was interesting. I'm not surprised that there's some that are hitting that. Star Citizen people are well past that. But it's a little bit every week, right? It's, there's this event, there's that event, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that, there's a season pack, there's this. Yeah, no, I can definitely see how you can hit that in a game as aggressive as FIFA.
Yeah, I think the big difference between something like Star Citizen and FIFA is it's tiny bit here, a little bit there, a little more here, in FIFA. But in Star Citizen, if you're going to spend that much money, I think you kind of know you're spending that much money because the stuff there costs that much. Like $5,000 spaceships and stuff like that. So it's not going to be a surprise that you spent that much money on it.
Well, talking about games where you can probably spend quite a lot of money. Harry Potter Wizards Unite is releasing a day earlier. Released a day early, yesterday, Thursday, over in Trumpistan and up in the UKs. But they're going into worldwide release today. Yay!
I haven't pulled it down yet, but it is one that I was thinking about checking out. So actually, after we finish up the news here, I might just see if I can pull it down on my phone.
Yeah, I've not actually heard a lot about how the game plays and whether it's reasonable. I'm waiting for a few reviews, super parent, etc. And the game's been out. That's the weird part. It's been out in Australia and New Zealand since May, so about a month now. And I've not heard about anything, neither anything good nor anything negative. Just that it exists.
Well, I don't typically spend a lot of time playing games on my phone anyway, but I've got some downtime on the trolley back and forth to work, and that's a majority of the time that I would sit down and play any games. So I'll see how it works there.
Yeah, now kids, man, they're gonna want it. It starts from age 7 and up, so we're both in range.
Yeah, my kid used to like to try and steal my phone to play Pokemon Go. I wonder if she's going to do the same thing with this.
Oh yeah, once it hits here where I live, it's not available. But it will be sooner or later. Then I am definitely going to see my kids want to play it. I know that. One of them is really into Harry Potter, and the other one's really into playing games.
I understand you were going to try and spoil Jessica Jones for me?
Well, somebody has to, right?
No one has to do that.
Well, it was mostly, earlier this week, Jessica Jones Season 3 has released. And that is Netflix's final Marvel hurrah. It's the last thing they're going to put out, I guess. There's no more Daredevil, there's no more Luke Cage, there's no more Defenders. There won't be, it seems, a Daughters of the Dragon.
Yeah, it's funny. I think I was joking with one of my buddies on Facebook about the Swamp Thing cancellation and how, they released like one episode and there's, still, 9 more to go after the first episode, and already they were saying the show had been canceled. But, at least in this case, we knew this show was going to be canceled before it even aired.
Yeah, and the cancellation wasn't announced until after they recorded it. Some of the setups they put in there, when you get to the end, it sort of feels like they know that it's done and dusted, but at the same time, there's a few setups. There's, why doesn't this, why is that character there, what is happening? So it was fun, weird watching the end of it. And I know you don't want me to spoil anything. Luke Cage shows up, but that seems mostly as a acknowledgement that his show was cancelled. Like, okay, here, show the big guy, done. It was completely meaningless. And it's one of the things that I took away from it. Season 1 was excellent with that whole thriller horror thing they were trying for, with the Purple Man. I think that worked well. Season 2, they were again trying for at least the thriller side of it. 3, they went back to that thriller horror mix, and it's just failing. It's just not succeeding. Which is sad, because that's what Jessica Jones is, no?
Well, she's a detective, and I think at least in the first 3 episodes I've seen thus far, they seem to be aiming at the old-timey detective kind of thing with the voiceover with her sitting in the office and researching things and stuff like that. So, like I said, I'm only 3 episodes into it at this point. I'm glad to see that, or to hear at least that Luke Cage made an appearance, but I'm disappointed that it sounds like it was meaningless because, in the comics at least, those two eventually get together and, kind of have a family. So it would have been nice if it, especially considering these series were coming to an end, if I guess maybe if it had leaned a little more in that direction, like it was heading that way, although probably would take quite a bit more character development for her to get to that point.
Not to mention Luke Cage went the other direction.
Well, that's true. So, yeah.
I'm just sad as that we never got Daughters of the Dragon. That annoyed me because the Insufferable Ironfish, that one ended in that direction. It was kind of like, come on, you're almost there. You're so close. Nope.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that team up.
Oh, hands down. And those 2 actresses, perfect for it. But staying on TV shows that are doing things they shouldn't be doing.
And TV shows that I've only seen 3 episodes of so far.
What, you've only seen 3 episodes of Good Omens?
Yeah, my wife and I just sat down and watched the 3rd one last night, so we're still working our way through that.
Well, I'm assuming you're not one of the 20,000 Americans who have petitioned Netflix to cancel Good Omens.
Oh, wait, am I supposed to go grab a pitchfork and a sign? What?
Oh, yeah. Now, before we get into details, the joke is, of course, they're petitioning Netflix to cancel Good Omens. Good Omens is made by and runs on Amazon. So, good luck.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was hilarious. It's like, first of all, you can tell that all they've seen are the commercials, and It seems like they didn't even bother to pay attention to the commercials. Because it says Amazon Prime all over the thing.
It's just, it makes no sense to me. But it's the U.S. Foundation for a Christian Civilization. So, people who like theocracies like Iran, etc. There's an offshoot of them that is the Return to Order campaign, where they go out and harass companies, etc., to remove products and stop being all devilish and stuff. They've chased an ice cream brand called Sweet Jesus. They demanded Walmart stop selling devil products.
I'm sorry. That is a hilarious name for an ice cream brand.
Yeah. Now, here's their complaints. I just want to... I know we shouldn't go through in details, but I'm going to. They are complaining that Good Omens is, and I quote, another step to make Satanism appear normal, light, and acceptable. No?
I mean...
They can't have read the books. They can't have watched the series. That's not what it is. And it mocks God's wisdom. Okay, yeah, it does actually. It makes a mockery of the Bible and some bits of the Bible. They complain that God is, again, quoting, voiced by a woman. So, spoiler if you haven't seen the last, second to last, third to last episode. They're complaining that the Antichrist is a normal kid. Well, I think Jesus at some point was a kid.
Well, going back a step, I don't know how you wouldn't know that God was voiced by a woman, because she does the voiceover in the very first episode.
Oh, yeah, she does, yeah.
Yeah, so and she does... Yeah, voiceover throughout the other episodes as well. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that was necessarily a spoiler. And, whether it's voiced by a man or woman, whatever. I don't care. And as far as the Antichrist being a normal kid, wouldn't he be?
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you read the Bible, Jesus was born as a kid, and it isn't until he's a lot older that he shows up again. He had a childhood. He was a kid. So, good luck with that one. Of course, the Antichrist would also be a kid at some point. If you're born, if you're made. I don't know. And the big one, this type of video makes light of truth, error, good and evil, and destroys the barriers of horror that society still has for the devil. So it lets the devil in. Again, no. Your country people are idiots.
I mean, I guess if you're going to have problems with this, you got to have problems with all the other films before, like the one where Morgan Freeman makes Jim Carrey God for a day or something like that. And what was the one going back further? George Burns. Oh my God, you devil! You remember that one?
No, I think I didn't watch that. The other one I'm aware of, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like, if you're gonna take issue with this, then I guess you got to take issue with all. I don't know why.
Oh, I'm just waiting for these people to discover the TV series Preacher.
Yeah, that's another one I still haven't even seen the entire last season of.
Me neither, actually. But yeah, Neil Gaiman, one of the two writers on the book, and he's also doing the script for season 1 of Good Omens. Plus, rumor has it he's done the first script for the beginning of season 2 in case they go for a season 2, which they can't because there's no book. But apparently. He came out and said he loves that they're going to write to Netflix and try to get Good Omens cancelled. Says it all, really. This is so beautiful. Promise me you won't tell them. Just let them carry on. Just have them annoy the hell out of Netflix. I love it.
Oh, I'm sure somebody from Netflix will tell them. But, aside from that, I would have thought, going on the fact that, okay, if you're going to have a problem with this, you have to have a problem with all things like this. Yeah, you bring up Neil Gaiman and that it's like, wait a minute, what about American Gods? I mean, they seriously mock Jesus in that one, and they also bring up how, deities only exist because of people's belief in them. So, how do they not?
That idea.
Yeah, but how? Well, I kind of like that idea too. But aside from that, it's like, how are they not taking issue with that show as well, or are they? And it's just not part of this article.
Okay, just an aside. Look up Jesus Needs Prayers, or is it God Needs Prayers? God Needs Prayers, I think it's called. Look up that one. It explains the whole why we have to pray and all that stuff. But you have to, if you're a Christian, you have to love American Gods, because if you look at the end of season 1, there is I don't know how many Jesuses, because there's different ideas of what Jesus is. At one point, crossing from Mexico into the U.S., there's Mexican Jesus. I love that. It's awesome. Disclaimer: I am a Christian. I see myself as one. I found that hilarious.
I think it's important to have a healthy sense of humor and to be able to laugh at things that, especially are often, maybe a little too serious. That doesn't mean that you can't still have faith in something and still see the humor in something that, the same thing.
And Drac, you have homework. Go watch Good Omens. Dear Lord, it's good.
Oh, I've been enjoying it so far. Yeah, we both have. It's just, like I said, it's been time. So, we just haven't had enough time to get through it yet.
Yeah, I'd say do it this weekend, but I guess you're stuck on the computer this weekend.
Well, in part. But if you are stuck on the computer this weekend and you're looking for something to distract you, Insurgency Sandstorm is doing a free weekend on Steam. So this is another one of those MMO first-person military shooters.
Now, it says MMO FPS shooter, but is it actual MMO or is it arena-based? Do you load in, shoot, and then load out?
I'd say more arena-based from what I understand. I haven't actually played it myself. I just saw the announcement that Steam was doing a free weekend, so I wanted to put that out there in case anybody here wanted to try it. But my understanding is it's arena-based, but, MMO tag due to the fact that there's lots of people online playing it.
And it looks to me that a quick, twitchy, the classical first-person shooter style. It made me think of the recent release of Battalion 1944.
Yeah, I can see that. It is a team and tactical-based FPS, so, you're looking at a lot of close-quarters combat, running through, what appears to be a lot of the imagery, like, and especially the name, it's like Middle East, desert type environment.
Yeah, don't need more of those, thank you. It's just, it's to death. Stop complaining about Middle East things. Sand bunkers, all those things. Just do something else, please.
Yeah, I mean, it gets old after a while. It's the same thing with World War II, but they keep going back, and it's still popular. I enjoy some of those games myself, but... Yeah, I mean, I enjoy a lot of those games myself, but I do like the variety. I don't want to be just stuck in one environment, constantly.
Yeah, but it's also, it paints a wrong picture of a large group of people. At least World War II, half of Europe was actually fighting, the other half wasn't. It sort of makes sense. Depict some French people shooting some German people. I'm okay with that. Just keep doing that instead. Or space robots. Do you know what? It's always fun, space robots. Or I guess if you're really into a certain author, there's always, what's his face from Rainbow Six?
Tom Clancy?
That's the face, yeah. Sorry, it's I was seeing something recently about different US politicians just praising Tom Clancy. Like, I think they all read him. I'm not joking. Oh, it's so awesome.
Well, look, over the years, there's been ups and downs on the Tom Clancy games. There's been some that have been really good, and others, it's taken some time before they've gotten good, or maybe not all that great. But the next one that we talked about, that we kind of highlighted a little bit from our E3 coverage, Rainbow Six Quarantine, they've got their website up and running, and you can go sign up for a chance to get into the beta. So this is definitely one I've got my eye on. It looks like it's going to be kind of neat and fun with a little bit of a horror or thriller element to it, and you can play co-op, which I'm excited about, because I have absolutely nothing against single-player games, and I do love to sit down and play them from time to time, but I just really, most of the time that I actually get to play games, I prefer to hang out with friends and play games, so I love it when games have, these story modes that you can play through that allow for full co-op, and that's what it sounds like this one's going to be.
No, I'm with you. I actually prefer co-op games. We're playing Borderlands, the pre-sequel right now, internally in this group, and it's just to run around, kill things, and have fun.
Yep.
They're going for the zombie one, I guess. A virus that drives me insane. Yeah, zombies.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get to zombies, or if it'll end up, maybe the virus will mutate people into some kind of alien. None of that, we don't really know. It's all just theories at this point.
Well, anyways, people, Rainbow Six Quarantine Beta, there's a link down in the description somewhere, whether you're on the FaceAche, on the YouTubes. Go check it out if you're into it. There'll be links for pretty much everything else. And, have a nice weekend, because it's weekend.
And as always, a like, thumbs up, and all that stuff is greatly appreciated. If you like the things you see coming out from us, make sure to subscribe. And if you've got any comments, throw them on down there. We'll be happy to respond.
And don't worry, we'll remind Bam that this is actually his day. He should be coming back sooner or later. Beyond that, on yesterday, 2 days ago, we had the comic shop talk. Go check that one out. And in a few days, Drag is back with news.
Yeah, I think I'm going to drag you back with me too.